if your chair is comfy, or if you want to put a yoga mat or a towel on the ground, there'll be about 15 minutes at the end just for you to really unwind and get the benefit from a nice meditation. Great. So just share the screen here. Great. So it's wonderful that you're here, and we thought, didn't we, Shannon, there'd be less people because of Black Friday. So it's great that you've chosen to come. And I think we're going to start off with just a little meditation. This is just what we're going to look at. We're going to recap on week 1, 2, and 3 and work with dealing with stress and cultivating happiness. And like I said, ending with the body scan. So just looking at, we looked in week 1, what is mindfulness and the neuroscience of mindfulness. We looked at stress and stress reactivity. And then in week 2, we looked at the emotional and physical benefits of mindfulness and our 5 emotional needs. And then week 3, the difficulties with sitting in meditation, how difficult that can be, and the 9 attitudes of mindfulness and mindful listening. And then today, 3 and week 1, 2, and 3, we also looked at, these are our everyday practices: mindful listening, mindful eating, mindful pause, mindfulness in nature, the body scan meditation, and sitting meditation. So these are, I suppose, your toolbox for you to return to, and hopefully that you have learned something from those meditations. So I think before we're going to start looking at stress, I'd like us to do a meditation now ourselves. So we're just going to start. I was looking at last week's video and realized, yes, we probably spent too long sitting in a meditation. So this is going to be a short one for you, just 5 minutes, just to bring us to this moment. So if you could take a moment then to just settle back. If you can, make sure your phone is turned off. It makes such a big difference. It's a real training in coming to just this moment. So make sure that the doors are closed. There's nobody around. And if you want a little shawl or anything around your shoulders, feel free to get that. Just ring our bell here. So taking a moment then to just notice your body in the chair. Notice your feet on the floor, that connection with the floor. Notice your hands on your lap or on your thighs. Notice how you're sitting. So sitting upright but not uptight. So take this moment to breathe in as you shrug your shoulders up. And then breathe out. Take your shoulders down and away from your ears. So now we're going to take a few mindful breaths, just breathing in through your nose, breathing in deeply, and then just exhaling fully. Back out through your nose. Try and do it through your nose, breathing in through your nose, and then just breathing back out through your nose. See, can you close your eyes and just drop in? Just drop into the body. Breathing in through the nose and breathing back out through the nose. And as you breathe back out, see, can you relax your shoulders down? So you may have had to rush to get here for 10 just to settle everything. So we may have a bit of tightness around the neck and shoulders. I'm just going to do a little bit of stretching. So I want you to bring your right ear over towards your right shoulder and breathe into the left-hand side of your neck. And just come back to center. Now breathe in again through the nose and take your left ear over towards your left shoulder. And just stay for a breath or two. And then come back to center again. And now breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring your chin forward to your chest. Really relax the muscles at the back of your neck between your shoulder blades. And then just slowly lift your head again. So let's just take 5 breaths together, breathing in through the nose and breathing back out through the nose. So just sensing a deepening attention so that you can feel the body right now. And just continue to follow the breath in a natural way. Relax with the breath. As the breath comes in, opening to receiving. And with the out breath, letting go and releasing. So as you sit with the body, just notice any areas of tension or tightness. Maybe your attention resting on your shoulders, and see, can you relax the shoulders a little? And notice your face, just allowing the face to soften. Just relax in this non-doing. And then feeling the hands, just allowing them to rest in a way and soften a little. Now notice if there are any other areas in the body where you feel you're holding or you're tight. And just allow these areas to release and soften. And then just bringing your attention to thoughts and emotions that might be present. So just let them be present without trying to change them in any way. So it could be that you're frustrated, that it's not easy to come to this moment, to come to the breath. You may be anxious. You may be distracted. Just let these emotions in because they're part of you and it's part of life. And it's just the way we are. We will always be thinking. We can't move away from our thoughts. So just welcome them in. Yeah, I know I'm distracted right now. Yeah, I'm feeling anxious right now, but that's okay. That's part of life. That's part of being human. And just see, can you sit with that uncomfortable feeling? And then just take another breath. And bring your focus back to the nostrils, to the breath at the nose, noticing it at the back of your throat. And that thought will move on if we don't give it too much attention. So now when you're ready, we're just going to come back. I just invite you just to have a stretch your hands up towards the seat. Move out from the back of your chair. Nice big stretch, breathe in and breathe out. Take your hands down. And do that one more time. Just stretch up. Good. Lengthen the body. Open up the ribs. And brilliant. Thank you, everybody. So, is there some chat going on there, Shannon? Is there some information in the chat?
It's not questions, Anne, it's just links to the recordings from last week.
Okay, no problem at all. No problem. Great. So great. That's wonderful. Thank you all again. So we're going to head on then with the PowerPoint so that I can stay on track. This is much to keep me on track, just the way I can give you all the information that I can in our last session here. So we're going to be looking at managing stress. And at the end of this 4 weeks, please God, you will have some skills in managing stress. And let me just move on to the next slide here. So this is our performance curve. This is, I'm sure you have seen this before. It's our zone of comfort. We are bored if we don't have enough actually adrenaline and excitement in our life. So that adrenaline that we feel when we're stressed, if we can manage it, it puts us in the zone of wanting to get up, wanting to get out there, and wanting to perform. So there's this performance peak where if we have enough interesting things happening, exciting things happening, we're feeling really good about things. We're energetic, we're excited, we want to get on with our day. If we don't have a lot going on and our needs are not met, we can feel bored and lethargic and just not wanting to get up and get on with our day. I'm sure we've all felt that at times. And then on the other side, which is where being nicely stressed, having enough adrenaline going, goes over the top and we get overwhelmed, burnt out, and stressed. And that is where we go out of our comfort zone and where the hormones of stress begin to really, really take over. So I'd be interested to know, where do most people feel right now? Are you in the zone? Are you feeling that you're moving out of the zone? Or are you burnt out or highly stressed? Where are you in this performance pressure curve?
I think because it's Friday and I might be coming out of it. And because of the mindfulness though. There's people here saying just, that these sessions are helping so much. They're feeling a bit strained.
Yes.
Strain zone.
Okay. Do we think that is probably this time of the year that would be a normal emotion, a normal feeling?
Yeah, I think people are commenting on the fact that it's Christmas,
Yeah,
lockdown exams for kids and stuff as well.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and it's the end of the month as well, so I suppose that workload as well, that pressure.
yeah. Very good.
We have some positive comments as well, though. That they had deadlines this week and they got them met, so that's
Oh,
perfect.
brilliant. Yeah, great. Yeah. It's great to just take a step back and take a look and see where you are. See where you are, where is your pressure levels in, just to know so that they don't catch up on you. And hopefully the pausing we're doing, the meditations that we've gone over, the walking meditations, the out in nature, the pausing, the mindful eating, times to step back and reflect will all help you keep an eye on where exactly you are in your performance curve. So I want to talk to you about tips on managing stressful emotions. Now, I want you to identify and label the emotion. So we all know that when we're stressed, we go into fight or flight, we feel it in our body, the hormones rush in, and we can't think very clearly. A big part in dealing with a strong emotions is to not turn away from them and not turn away from negative emotions. So when you're sitting there like we were, and we talked about it last week, people saying, I can't concentrate. You and I, Shannon, had a conversation about it as well, how hard it is to actually be in the moment when you have so much on. So what I want you to do is to actually name that emotion, whether it's frustration, anxiety, pressure, pressure, pressure. Just say it. Pressure, pressure, pressure. In this quiet moments where I've asked you to step back and just to see what's going on in your body, we have a better chance of coping if we know what's going on in our body, if we know what's going on in our, where the stress is accumulating, and if we can bring some calm to that. So just you breathing, you're pausing, and just creating a space between the emotion and acting on it. So just take a moment to examine what's happening. And I find this helps for me a lot, which is see your thought or emotion as being temporary. So if I'm preparing for something, I'll say, okay, I'm right up past my being in the zone to stressed right now. And I know that's going to be temporary. And when my presentation is over, when I feel I've done a good job, when I've had this workshop and I feel that I've helped people, I know then it's going to come down. Probably have a cup of tea and just take a few moments to reflect. So I know it's temporary. I know it's going to be a strong emotion, but I'm always going to prepare myself to do something afterwards that's going to help me after that period of time. So learn to recognize distorted thinking. And what I mean about that is, catastrophizing, black and white thinking. When we say things like catastrophizing, example might be, my Christmas is ruined. It's going to be ruined because of the coronavirus. Christmas is going to be ruined. How do we know it's going to be ruined? It could be the best Christmas yet. There could be very exciting things happening that we don't know about. Maybe because we can't go as many places as we'd like to, we could have some lovely times with our family, less rush time. So just take your emotion and have a good think about it. It's a little bit of CBT, I suppose. Just have a think about it and see, is this really what I'm thinking? Is this really going to happen? Or you hear people saying, I have the worst look ever, and that can stick. I just have the worst look in the world. Everything seems to go wrong for me. And that is a pattern that's just going to get into your head. So take a look at your emotions and see how your thinking is. Has anybody any examples of when they thought they were, in in black and white thinking, you know, where a person's just terrible. And then you get to know them. And you say, how did I ever think that about that person? The person's actually lovely. Any examples that anybody has found themselves where they were just, their thinking was so distorted because they were so stressed, they couldn't think clearly. Basically, their amygdala was firing.
No comments yet, but I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, you know when it happens because it's usually when you're in a state of stress.
Yeah. There's someone just actually made a good point that they find it very difficult when you're around negative people, you know, maybe that energy of another person.
Exactly. Thank you for that great comment. Yeah. If you're around negative people and their negative energy just spreads. Thich Nhat Hanh, a wonderful Buddhist monk, talks about when he was fleeing from Vietnam, and when the boat people were fleeing from Vietnam, that they were trying to cross this really, really dangerous piece of water, piece of ocean, in small boats. And he said that if one person could be calm on the boat, just took one person to take control and to be calm, and that the whole feeling of everybody, that energy of being calm just spread among versus everybody being chaotic. So yeah, definitely, you know, you need to start thinking, how we all do, about the friendships we keep and who makes you feel good and who brings you down. So thanks for sharing that. That's very important. So again, the next one is about knowing that it's okay to have anxiety and that you're not alone, that you're not losing your mind. We all feel anxiety and tension. I was talking about that to Shannon. You know, we wake up and the first thing is my to-do list. What am I going to do today? Am I organized enough? Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do this? And you just go down that path and it just builds anxiety, 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 and it becomes a pattern. So that's why I want you to wake up in the morning and just choose to be calm first and centered. And you'll say that's easier than said, but a real good tool is to start looking at what you're grateful for before you start your day. And that's like the antidote to stress and anxiety. What is it that I'm grateful for? And once you start thinking about what you're grateful for, add some nice calm breaths, and then, well, how am I going to make this day work for me? So you get into the habit of doing that, and then you do some gratitude. Take a gratitude moment at nighttime, and before you know it, you're down that road to creating a good habit for your mental health. Because I haven't mentioned what stress and anxiety does for people, but I think we all know that by 2030, and probably before that now, because of the coronavirus, the World Health Organization has said that mental health is going to be the biggest problem worldwide. So this is why it's important to start now and to take those thoughts and just pick through them and say, is this proper thinking? Would I be, if a friend of mine was thinking like this, what would I say to them? So just take a look, step back and take a look at your thinking. And that's the last part there, is to breathe, to pause, and deliberately create space where you can examine your thinking and learn to respond versus react. So I think that's about the people in our life that are negative, that kind of we want to react straight away when they say something. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to take a step back to, it's called metacognition, where you're actually, there's a few wheels going in your brain. You're dealing with that person, but at the same time, in your mind, you're thinking, okay, let me just step back a minute, take a pause, take a breath, maybe step outside and just think about your thinking and just choose a wise choice. And that's the beauty about meditation. It helps us make wise decisions. Does anybody have any comments? I'm carried away just talking here. if it's not making sense.
No, it's just relating to the black and white thinking. There was a few examples there, just about going into meetings and envisaging that it would be good, and it ended up being good rather than negative.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then just that idea of, not getting too annoyed if somebody doesn't reply to a message, as you say, never assume.
yeah, yeah. Very good. Yeah. Isn't that interesting, that one? Somebody doesn't reply to a message. Your mind is trying to put it together, I wonder why, what happened. And it can just take off in distorted thinking. So you're right, just to leave that, park it, and just say, yeah, they'll call me back when they call me back. And I'm sure there's a good reason.
There's a great book, have you ever read it, on the Four Agreements?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a lovely book.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay. So this is the big one, treating ourselves with kindness, empathy, and compassion. Whenever you find yourself totally berating yourself, that's the time to open up your heart. And there is a meditation there called the Self-Compassion Break by Christine Neff. I don't know if you've heard of her. Christine Neff has some fabulous books on self-compassion. And we're all doing the best we can. We all have, as one of our emotional needs, with the right to be happy. So try not to be hard on yourself. And I love that hug, that whole idea of holding ourselves when we're stressed, holding ourselves when we feel we're not enough. So just take a moment to realize how precious you absolutely and unique you are. And think about, if you had your best friend with you, what would they say at times, or your mom, or somebody who loves you deeply? When you're hard on yourself, just say, what would they say to me right now? And they'd say to wise up, wouldn't they? Wise up. You're doing a great job. We're all coping. We're all in this together. And just to be very gentle, with yourself and the language that you use with yourself as well. So I want you to think now, as we are coming to our last session, we've just 20 minutes left. What activities nourish and increase your overall sense of well-being? Could you take a moment to actually outline 3 goals that would encourage you now to practice? So from what we have done in this time, could you write down 3 things? Just write down them now. Give you a few minutes. So what can you do as we move forward into Christmas, from what we've learned over the 4 weeks? What can you do to nourish yourself? To nourish yourself. Shannon, if anybody has written, would you ask people just to share a few goals that they have written down, please?
Yeah, so just taking time for self-care, to be grateful and just kind to yourself. It's coming in here. Nourish yourself through food, I suppose, being mindful about what you're actually putting into your body. I know Christmas can be hard. Go for a walk. Do something that you enjoy and not feel guilty about it. That's a good one.
Yes.
Sometimes we do put a lot of guilt on ourselves, don't we? Ask for help, as we can't do it all ourselves. Mindful walking. Getting into a habit of good night's sleep. getting out in the sunlight, vitamin D. Yeah, and another one there, more sleep, meditating weekly, speaking kindly to myself with affirmations and not overthinking things.
Oh, lovely, lovely. That's brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. So, Mary Oliver, here's just a quote I love. Tell me, what is your plan? What is it you plan to do with your wild and precious life? That's so important because we get so caught up in the doing, don't we? Just in the doing mode and to-do lists, and we totally forget about our wild and precious life. And it's such a good time now as we're entering 2021, you know, and I like this, probably isn't the Mourne Mountains, but, you know, we have such beauty around us. If you live here in Belfast or, you know, I mean, if you're living wherever you are, just to explore the beauty around you before, you know, I must be thinking, oh, I can't wait to go to Malaga or these places. But my goodness, there's so much beauty around us. There's so much beauty. And maybe there is some goal for yourself that you haven't achieved or you've put in the back burner, or, you know, we're busy helping others. Just see before, when you were younger, what activities did you love, maybe before you've had children, or if you haven't had children, but what activities are out there that you love to do, and maybe reconnect with yourself again. Because life is so precious and it goes in a flash. So we need to make the most of this time for ourselves. So that's just a thought to think about. And I just want to do the meditation with you now, the body scan. So I would like you to make yourself comfortable. If you have a blanket or a shawl, place it around you. If you have a space, if you want to, you know, turn off your camera and just go over to the sofa, or if you have a place on the floor that you want to lie down on, please feel free to do that. Great. So, when you're ready now, I just invite you to drop into your body. Noticing the weight of your body either on the chair, the sofa, or maybe you're in your bedroom, wherever you are, in your office if you're sitting at your chair. Just let the body settle in. Just take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and then just let the breath come all the way down your body, just releasing, letting go as you travel all the way down your body, down to your feet. Noticing your heels, your thighs, back, hands, shoulder, your head. And then when you're ready, just notice the fact that you're breathing. Just inhaling deeply and exhaling fully. Just making the out breath a little longer than the in breath. And we'll just count those breaths for 5. Breathing in through the nose, And breathing back out. Another in breath. And just a nice long out breath, nice and slow. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And just being present with what is. If it's a distracted mind, just say, I'm feeling distracted. Just be with whatever is, whatever it is, whatever emotion, whatever feeling, whatever's present is present. We're going to start from the top of the head with this body scan, just noticing the top of your head, the back of your head, the base of your skull, and the sides of your head. So just breathing in through the nose, just filling this whole region. Noticing any tension or tightness in the head and the scalp. And then just releasing and letting go on the out breath. And then moving on to the forehead. Bringing your attention to your forehead. Sometimes we have lots of headaches and migraines, so just taking a moment to notice the forehead and the temples. Aware of any sensations here. And then just relaxing and releasing on the out breath. And just softening the lines on the forehead. And then I invite you to move on to the eyes, the eyelashes, the eyebrows, the eyelids. And just noticing any sensations in the eye. And just smile with your eyes, relax your eyes. And then just moving on to the mouth region, just noticing the tongue, the teeth, the gums, the roof of the mouth, the sides of the mouth. Aware of any tension or discomfort in the mouth region. I invite you to swallow and just relax your tongue in your mouth. And just soften the corners of your mouth. Even bringing a little smile to your face, which will relax all your facial muscles. So just a soft curving up of the corners of the mouth. So relax all the muscles of the face. Relax the jawbone and relax the lower jaw. So moving on now to the throat region, noticing the throat and the shoulders. Noticing any tension or tightness in the shoulder region. So breathing into the shoulders and just breathing out and just letting go on the out breath. As we move down to the back body, down the spine to the waist, and down to the lumbar spine, where we hold lots of tension in the lumbar spine. So as best you can, just breathing into the back body. Noticing where the tension is being held, and then just releasing and letting go on the out breath. And then just moving to the front body, placing a hand on the heart and on the tummy. And just observe the breath as the tummy expands on the in-breath and relaxes back down on the out-breath. And there's an invitation here to soften and release any tension from the tummy region. Then placing your hands where you're comfortable and moving on to the pelvic region, the hips, the pelvic floor, the front of the pelvis, the side, the back of the pelvis. And just noticing if you're holding any tension here and just releasing on the next out breath. So now I invite you to bring your awareness to the lower limbs, the thighs and the knees, the calf muscles and the shins. And bring your awareness down to your ankle bones and the tops of your feet, the toes and the arches of your feet. Just noticing any tension or tightness in the lower body. And now I invite you to take one nice deep breath in through the nose and then to breathe out down through the whole body. Just relaxing and releasing tension as you move down the body, the front and back body, down through the legs, out through the feet. So any time that you feel tense or tight, take this nice long body breath, breathing in through the nose and all the way down to the body. So now it's time to come back from the body meditation. If you're lying down, or even sitting, just stretch your hands up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, stretch your hands up, just to wake you up a little bit. And breathe out. Take your hands forward and down, or to the side. And again, one big stretch up. Breathe in, stretch up, and breathe out. Take your hands down. And when I ring this bell again, you will know that the body scan has come to an end. Thank you, everybody. I hope you found the body scan beneficial. That's going to be sent to you from Shannon, and it's a beautiful way to check in, and you can do it anytime. I often, if I'm working from home and it's 3 or 4 and my energy is fading and I've got a lot of headaches or I feel annoyed about something and I can't go out for some reason or another, I just lie on the sofa, put on my meditation or just listen to somebody else's meditation. And that's it. I feel so much better after. I feel kind of balanced. How was that for people? Or is there any questions as we come to the end?
There's a lot of people saying that they didn't want it to end on. I could actually feel my blood flow this time. It was quite deep. Yeah, I could actually feel, I've never felt that before. So.
We're craving this time for ourselves. We're craving time to be able to be out of the busyness. And we must grab it for ourselves and take care of ourselves. Because how can we take care of others if we can't take care of ourselves? So it's not being selfish. It's taking care of yourself. Because if we don't do it, we're going to get sick. And then we'll be no good to anybody. Because stress depletes the immune system. And no, it's great. It's so good. I'm so happy that you all joined me for this 4 weeks. It's been fabulous.
Some people are asking just for the recordings there. So I just want to say that we do have them up on our Business in the Community Northern Ireland YouTube channel, but I'll just add it into the email on Monday. So just to recap, you'll get a wee email on Monday. And there'll be a short survey, just a 3-question survey about how you felt the mindfulness series went. And if you've any tips for new series, you'll also get some resources from Anne. Anne has kindly sent some resources that you can do over Christmas. And then I'll send the links as well for the recordings. Because I know that at the start, some people weren't in there when I was saying that. Also, just to encourage you to, again, keep an eye out on the Business in the Community Northern Ireland website page under the events section. I know I put the link in there, but I'll put it in again. And it's just to be aware of any sessions we have coming up. Anne is going to do a sleep workshop in February. So it is just keeping an eye out if you want to join that session. And also we have a winter wellbeing week starting on the 25th of January. And that whole week is different workshops. So we have motivation, financial wellness, seasonal affective disorder, and bereavement, because they are topics that are just so common at the minute. And I think workshops are just going to be brilliant. So if you want to join those as well, just keep an eye out on that Business in the Community Northern Ireland website page.
You're doing a wonderful job, Shannon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. Great. Are there any last questions? We have a few minutes, don't we?
There's just, I suppose, comments saying that the body scan really helps, release any pressure or any, tension built in the body. I definitely find that as well. You can nearly feel it go when you focus on it. Yeah.
We're like on that fight or flight mode, and so we're like ready to pounce. And when we stop and just step back, but one big takeaway is think about what catastrophizing thoughts am I thinking about, and are they based on reality? And just notice, and then make a choice that you're not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Would it be grateful? And we have enough, we do really have enough in our lives. Hopefully, are you going to be on the Black Friday thing, or is anybody going to be doing that?
My keeps.
I couldn't. The whole thoughts of it's too much.
Do all my shopping online this year, I think. No, there's no questions coming in, Nan, so it's just
Lovely.
Oh, sorry, there's actually one here. Any tips on communicating with people in our personal lives?
Did you, do you remember last week's mindful listening, that one?
Yes.
Really good tips on that. Which is, if you feel, the boiling kettle, you're just going to blow up if they say another word. Step back and step out.
I like what you were saying earlier
to stay calm. It's on you to stay calm, because we have to be responsible for whatever thoughts we have in our heads. So it's not them, it's us. We have to take charge of it, and we have to step back. We have to cool down. And so just be careful of that around Christmas time. Make sure you get out every day for your walks, and that you're calm and centered when you come back in. The house can be very, very stressful. Just dealing with everything.
And I like what you were saying earlier, Anne, about the metacognition. Am I saying that right? Metacognition.
Yeah. Poor animals can't do that, but we can. We can look and think about what we're thinking. Like in the 50th of a second, we can think about it and choose not to go there. Is this the time to go there?
Being more logical.
Probably really intense. So we've lots of power. We've so much resilience that's already with us, that we just need to tap into it.
Somebody just commented saying, you said it, respond, don't act, don't react. Yeah, respond, don't react. No, that is lovely, Anne. We've no more questions this morning.
Brilliant.
So
thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful Christmas. Thank you.
Yeah, happy Christmas is right, everybody, and hopefully we will see you in the new year for some new workshops.
Yes. Thank you, Shannon.
But other than that, have a lovely Friday and a lovely weekend, and thank you so much, Anne. You've been a pleasure.
Take care. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful Christmas.
Okay.
Thank you for helping too.